Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Clint Cash, and today on this video I want to speak about more of an astrology piece. Astrology dealing with the sun and the moon. Now, a lot of people, we give recognition to our sun sign, which that'll be your birthday, but what we don't pay attention to is our moon sign. Our moon sign is very important because the moon sign represent how you may feel, how you deal, how you basically express your emotions. That's what the moon deals with. It's very more important that you know your moon sign as well as that you know your sun sign. And your sun sign can be more explained as the actions taken, or to be in deeper realm, the sole purpose is what you trying to master. And your moon would deal with more of the feeling, how you feel. So these two signs are very important in astrology. And if you do not know your birth chart, you can look up on YouTube and find videos where people will explain how to get in tune with your birth chart. But what I want to talk about, I want to tie this astrology piece with human actions, because the sun represent the father and the moon represent the mother. And a lot of times when we want to learn how to behave in the matrix, we got to look into the universe to get guidance. The universe is the guidance, and the world will be, which is the matrix, will be the illusion. So we have to go back into looking into the universe, which is God, same thing, to get the guidance to know how to get through the illusion, which is the world. So remember that. And I'm tying this piece into marriage, relationships, just relationship between man and women, because this is very important. If you look at the characteristics of the moon and the characteristics of the sun in astrology, once again, the moon is how we feel. It's our deepest emotion, how we deal with stuff emotionally. And the sun is how we bring that light into the world, really with actions, how should I say, proceed without life purpose. So speaking of that, you can say that the moon has feminine energy and the sun is the masculine energy. Why is this important? Because this gives you a clear understanding how relationships work. And in relationships, when you got the female will represent the moon sign, and the man will represent the sun sign. Just get this understood. It's not saying that the moon represents women and the man and the sun represent man. That's not, because within that individuality, the individual person, they possess both, which is feminine and masculine energy within themselves. But what they proceed out in the world, the way they handle life situations, is dealt in a masculinity fashion, and for the female be vice versa, is dealt in a feminine fashion. So also too, when I'm describing females representing the moon, the way they perceive themselves out into the world is more of a moon type energy, because the moon also represents your intuition and your mind. So let's just speak on the individual before we even get in relationships with men and women. Let's just talk about the individual and how the sun and moon actually ties into the individual. When you're dealing with your moon sign is your intuition, is how you feel. Anytime you start with anything in life, if you want to learn about yourself, anything that you're trying to succeed, it comes within first and then move out. This is the reason why that masculinity and femininity have to balance, but it must come from inner and in order to be perceived to the outer world. That'll be your sun sign. So for you to manifest anything, it has to deal with the moon side of yourself, which will be that you would say the shadow side of yourself, the side that you sometimes not even conscious of or aware of, or other people's not aware of, and that's your feelings. A lot of people want to ignore this side of themselves, but you need this, because this is the decision maker for your sun sign. Your sun sign cannot go out into the world and get things done without knowing the direction or the decision making from the moon. The sun, if you think about a full moon and how the universe operates, the reason why the moon is full is illuminated by the sun. The sun needs guidance. That's why the sun illuminates the moon, and the moon needs direction. The moon needs the direction. It needs the masculinity to move on, and the sun needs that guidance, intuition, feelings, emotions to be able to carry on. So that's very key. Sun is the father of the zodiac sign, but it needs the emotion and feelings first before it can even go out there and have direction for that moon to grab onto something. You see what I'm saying? So in the individual, you need to know your emotions. You need to be passionate about something, compassionate about it, know your emotions, and then your sun sign will kick in, your physicality, which is your body. Go out there and get it done into the world. That's what the sun sign represents within an individual. Now let's get a little deeper. We can talk about how it deals with relationships. But before we get to that, I also want to make another comparison. The moon is your intuition and the sun is your ambition. So the moon is your intuition and the sun is your ambition. It's what actually go out there and get the job done. So how do this work with two people? For a woman, she will be considered as the decision maker. Why? Because in a woman, and I'm not trying to say all women, but within a woman, the intuition should be greater. These the ones that goes off emotional feelings. So therefore, if somebody go off emotional feelings, particularly they should have a greater intuition than someone that don't go off their feelings. A lot of times this don't happen. That's what I'm saying. We need to learn how to balance ourselves. So the moon is basically just a feminine energy of intuition, and in relationship, the woman's supposed to represent the intuitive side of the moon, of the female intuition within a relationship. That's all that means, because a man can also have feminine energy or feminine energy within himself also. But I'm just using this as relate to relationships. This is a part for a woman in a relationship because this is needed when women start, and man too. I'm about to get to the sun in a minute. But when women start, playing a different role in for a relationship, and you got two people, unless you agree on it. I mean, some dudes want to play the feminine. I mean, I'm not here to argue that. I'm not here to argue that at all. But I'm just telling you from what's the normal, what's the mundane way of relationships. And a woman is supposed to use the intuition. Well, these are the decision makers. These are the ones that say, baby, we don't need it. Baby, if I was you, I wouldn't do that. Or she's the nurturer. That's what the moon represents too, the nurturer. She's the nurturer of the household. So she know everything in and out of that household. She know how everybody feel, how to deal with everybody. This is the moon side of the relationship. She knows how to deal with everybody. She knows how to communicate with them because she knows their emotions and their feelings. This is how it's supposed to work. This is the one that nurture and calm situations down. Now, the man actions in the relationship will be represented by the sun. Will be represented by the sun. The sun is the ambition. The moon is the nurturer, intuition. The sun is the ambition. Go out there and get done. And the vision. Because they get they the ambition and the vision. They get the vision clear. And that job for man, the sun sign of the relationship, is the go-getter, which means they take that decisions from the nurturer and make it into physical reality, which is represented by the man. They go out there and work. They go out there and work hard. They harvest, get things done. Build a house if they have to. Build a car if they have to. This is their thing they're supposed to do within a relationship. So you got to remember that this is deep. And dealing with astrology, sometimes you can look into the universe and tell what road that you need to play. This is what our ancestors were doing. They was getting guidance from the Most High. They was getting guidance from the universe to knowing where their actions will be played at. And when you're dealing with the sun and the moon, the mother and the father, this is how things supposed to actually play within the world, actually, from the universe. So remember that. And I just want to say love and peace. Y'all have a great one.